Hey everyone, my name is Robert Pederuti, and welcome to the Understanding the Algorithm API video tutorial. The purpose of this video is to help familiarize you with Quantopian's IDE and its core functionality through the construction of an example algorithm of a very common investment strategy, long-short equity. Before we dive into creating our example algo, it's important to remember that the Quantopian platform provides each user account access to the Jupyter research environment, in which a user can evaluate a model and arrive at an investment thesis with which to begin constructing a strategy in the IDE. In the general sense, long-short equity involves taking long positions in assets that are expected to increase in price and short positions in assets that are expected to decrease in price. The goal here is to minimize market exposure and profit off of the relative changes in the prices between the top and bottom baskets of assets. What's important to remember is that the focus is the spread between the long and short side rather than the price change on the top or bottom by itself. With our investment strategy in mind, let's dive in. Looking at our list of imports here, each import corresponds to a package we will use throughout our algorithm. I'll be explaining the high-level meaning and use of each package as we construct our strategy. Similarly, we have several variables that I've already defined right here. Don't worry about these just yet, as they'll come into play shortly. One thing I'd like to mention first is our algorithm's commission and slippage models. To set the cost of our trades, the platform supports two main functions, set commission and set slippage. We can specify a commission model to declare the cost of our trades, like so. We can also set a slippage model as well. Generally, orders for trades affect the market. Buy orders drive prices up, and sell orders drive prices down, a concept called the price impact of a trade. A slippage model can be used to determine if our algorithm's orders are too big compared to current trading volume. So we can set our slippage model similarly how we did it with commission. But by default, if we don't define commission or slippage models in our algorithm, both are set to default values. Commission defaults to 0.1 cents per share with a $1 minimum cost per trade, and slippage defaults to allow an order of an asset to take up to 2.5% of a minute's trade volume. So for now, our algorithm will use default commission and slippage models, so we'll comment out our custom models that we defined. One of the platform's best features is the pipeline API. As a background, many trading algorithms depend on routine calculations. For example, every day, an algorithm might fetch some data from the past n days for a whole set of assets and perform some calculations and use the results in the rest of the logic in the strategy. The pipeline API makes it easy for our algorithm to define and execute these trailing window calculations. So the next thing we're going to do in initialize is attach our pipeline to our algorithm by calling the attach pipeline function and passing in the output of our pipeline, which we'll create in a little bit. As you can see, make pipeline is a function we will soon define that will return a pipeline object to be used later in our strategy. The Quantopian risk model was released at the end of 2017 to allow strategies to identify their exposure to common risk factors, such as materials or energy, or trading styles like momentum or mean reversion. This is important in identifying how much of an algo's returns are explained by these common risk factors. When you remove the returns caused by these common risk factors, what you're left with is a concept called alpha, what we try to maximize in our strategy. Risk factors that we'll want to minimize our exposure to can be used in our algorithm from the risk loading pipeline, which will now attach to our algorithm to be used later in our analysis. The platform supports an optional function called before trading start, which is called every day before market open. We'll be using this function to store the results of our pipeline calls into our context variable to be used later in our algorithm. So first, let's define our function before trading start. Like we will see in other functions we define in our algorithm, this function takes in both a context object and a data object. In summary, the context object can be used to store information and variables throughout an algorithm. The data object gives an algorithm a way to fetch all sorts of data, like historical pricing information about assets. In addition to attaching our pipeline to our algorithm like we did in initialize, we want to somehow access the output of both our long-short pipeline and risk factors pipeline. To do this, we can call the pipeline output function on our algo to store the results of our pipeline in the context variable as a convenient pandas data frame, like so. We'll do the same for our risk loading pipeline that we attached earlier in the initialize function. In initialize, you might remember that we attached to the algo object the output of a function called makePipeline, in which we define, create, and return our pipeline object. Let's create this method. Defining the calculations for our assets is the first thing to think about when constructing our pipeline. We will define our calculations with factors, which represent the results of numerical calculations. The first factor we'll create is one that uses our fundamentals dataset from Morningstar, which we make available for free on our platform. The first factor we'll make is one based off of the ratio of EBIT to enterprise value of a stock. A second factor we'll create is one made from a stock's return on equity value, or the amount of a shareholder's equity that is returned as net income. We'll call this factor quality. We'll also create a factor based off of the 3-day simple moving average of a particular type of data from our Twitter dataset. This will give us a neat indication of whether an asset is believed to go up or down in price. To do this, we'll use one of the platform's built-in factors, simple moving average. We might choose to create another factor composed of all 3 factors, in which we combine our factors by z-scoring them to equalize their impact. So we'll call this one combined factor. Another core part of creating a pipeline is constructing filters, which compute Boolean values for the assets they are computed over. That said, we can create a filter for the Q tradable stocks US, the newest iteration of the Quantopian tradable universe, a collection of stocks that fit our defined constraints every day. When we include this in our pipeline, only these stocks will be included in our pipeline output. So we'll create a filter for the Quantratable Stocks US called Universe. Pipeline filters are commonly constructed from factors. In our long-short strategy, we want to long stocks with the highest ranking and short stocks with the lowest ranking according to our combined factor above. So we can use combined factor to construct a filter for the top and bottom X number of stocks. We'll choose to make X 300 stocks each, as we think that's a large enough maximum number of stocks for either side. So we can create 2 filters, longs and shorts. Note that we're using the variables num long positions and num short positions that we defined above before initialize. We also want to make sure we compute these filters on only assets in our defined universe, in this case the Q tradable stocks US. So we can pass in the universe factor we defined above by masking our filters, longs and shorts. But what on earth does masking mean? By masking a filter, we compute the combined factor over the assets that are in fact part of the universe filter, and output nans for assets that are not included in our universe. So let's add that mask to our filters. Now, to ensure that we calculate only the max top 300 and bottom 300 stocks, we may want to include a final filter for stocks in either category and exclude all other stocks. This is called a pipeline screen, which we'll define right now. We'll call this long-short screen. Now here's the fun part, where we finally construct our pipeline. Our pipeline will contain 2 sections. One section involves declaring what each of our pipeline columns will be. In this case, we'll make our pipeline contain 3 columns. Longs, the result of our longs filter, shorts, the result of our shorts filter, and the result of our combined factor we defined above, combined factor. So let's make our pipeline. It's important to note that I can use several types of pipeline objects to construct these columns, but the column value will be the return type of each type of object. For example, longs and shorts are filters, so I expect the values of each of these columns to be either true or false for each asset that ends up through our pipeline, whereas combined factor is a factor, so I expect its return value to be numeric for each asset. So let's return our pipeline. Now, left just like this, our pipeline will include all stocks that Quantopian supports, which is a lot of assets. But like we established earlier, our long-short equity strategy is based on the decision that we'll trade a collection of what we consider high-performing stocks and low-performing stocks. Therefore, we need to tell our pipeline to only perform the above calculations on certain stocks. To do this, we use our pipeline screen defined earlier. Specifically, we only want our pipeline to perform calculations on the top 300 or the bottom 300 assets according to our ranking. So let's add our screen. So far, we've initialized our algo, we've defined the universe of assets we want to trade, and the calculations we want to perform on these assets. But we don't have a trading algorithm without ordering logic, and that is what we'll get to now. Let's say that in our research, we decide to place orders once every 30 minutes after market open, so 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The platform allows you to automatically run functions of your own design on a predetermined schedule. We can do this by declaring our function within a call to schedule function, which will allow us to define how frequent we want our function to be called automatically. We'll call the function in which we want to do all our analysis and ordering rebalance. So let's define rebalance in our initialize function. And now we have to create our function rebalance. So let's declare it and dive in. The first thing we'll do is recall data from our pipeline and set them as local variables, two separate pandas data frames, one for our long-short template pipeline and one for our risk loadings pipeline. So let's do that in rebalance. Here's where we get to the meat of our ordering logic. The Quantopian platform supports something called the Optimize API, a tool that allows an algorithm to describe its orders in terms of high-level objectives and constraints. Personally, I describe an objective as something that algorithm tells the optimizer to maximize when calculating a new optimal portfolio to order. In many cases, it's necessary to enforce constraints on the portfolio created by the optimizer as well. To make more sense of all of this, first, let's define our objective to tell the optimizer what to optimize. In this example, we'll choose the objective maximize alpha, which will tell our algorithm to maximize the expected returns of our algo by going long on assets with the highest ranking and short on assets with the lowest ranking. The neat thing about maximize alpha is that it wants to bet all the money in the extremes, so it trades the maximum position for both top and bottom sets of assets. Remember, back when we created our pipeline, we defined how we value these assets by composing a factor called combined factor. So let's create in our objective. As you can see here, the maximize alpha objective takes in a pandas series that maps each asset to its alpha value. In this case, the alpha value for each asset will be the value of the combined factor computed through pipeline. Now, let's get to defining our constraints. In this algorithm, we will create a pipeline list of constraints that we'll eventually give to the optimizer as a so-called list of rules we're making the optimizer abide by as it optimizes our objective. So let's make a Python list called constraints. Let's first constrain our portfolio's max gross leverage to 1. We do this to ensure our algorithm does not trade positions that are larger than the amount of money in our account, an important statistic to monitor in any portfolio. Also, we want leverage capped at 1 because it's a more honest representation of the performance of the strategy, and we can just scale it up later if we so choose. We'll use the max gross exposure built-in constraint and append that to our list of constraints. So let's do that right now. Notice how I'm using the variable max gross leverage, which I defined above the initialize function. We'll also make sure our algorithm remains dollar neutral, which means that it will hold equal dollar amounts of long and short positions. So let's append that to our list of constraints. The results of the risk loadings pipeline contains default constraints we want to take advantage of in optimizing our portfolio. So what we'll do now is add these constraints to our list of constraints. We do that by passing in the risk loadings pipeline results. And then finally, we append it to our list of constraints. The Optimize API also gives us the opportunity to constrain our position sizes to make sure we don't concentrate our portfolio too much in one asset or a small subset of assets. So we pass in min and max position sizes to our position concentration constraint, making use of the with equal bounds function, which we'll write right now. Notice how I'm using variables that I defined above initialize, max short position size and max long position size. Now here's the fun part, where we put all of these pieces together and pass them into an order method. The Optimize API provides the order optimal portfolio method, which will take in our objectives and constraints, calculate an optimal portfolio that satisfies our maximum alpha objective subject to the list of constraints we've given it, and then order that portfolio. So let's do that right now. And we're done. I should know that there's so much more about the Optimize API I don't have nearly enough time to cover, so please check out both the Getting Started tutorial and of course the API reference page for more information about this powerful API. As we've seen, this algo trades up to the top 300 and bottom 300 stocks based on our own ranking system we've defined in Pipeline. As a last-minute addition, we may want to record the number of positions in our portfolio every day. We do this by writing another schedule function that will record the number of positions we have in our portfolio at the end of each trading day. So we can go back to up to initialize and define another schedule function. If I hadn't explained this before, the schedule function takes in a set of parameters, one being the name of the function, its date and time rules depending on when and how often you want this function to run, and a check here that basically says, run this function even if the market closes early. And then we could write out our function, passing in context and data objects like we did before with rebalance. We'll record the number of positions each day and pass in the length of our portfolio's positions. Keep in mind that the context variable we've used so much throughout our algorithm has several built-in objects we can call to obtain information about our portfolio. In this case, we'll use the context.portfolio object to give us information about our positions, like so. So here's where we use the context.portfolio object. As I end our walkthrough, let's try quickly building our algorithm over an arbitrary time range. While we wait for our build to finish, though, let's do a short recap of what we covered throughout the construction of our long-short equity strategy. We started off by setting our commission and slippage models within our initialize function, a required function run at the beginning of our algorithm. With knowledge of the type of assets and calculations we want to perform on our assets, we created our pipeline with the Pipeline API, which makes it easy for us to define and execute our cross-sectional trailing window calculations. We then dove into our algorithm's ordering logic within the rebalance function, defining our objectives and constraints and finally passing them into an order optimal portfolio method, which orders us a portfolio of assets that meet our maximize alpha objective and satisfies our list of constraints. We see our build results on the right-hand side of the screen, which displays common performance metrics of our algo. I hope you guys found this video a helpful high-level walkthrough of Quantopian's algorithm API. Please feel free to check out other educational content such as our tutorials and the Quantopian lecture series, or email support for any more questions at feedback@quantopian.com. Thanks for watching.